Hi, I'm James Williams, no pseudonyms, but I've created a website called Chimes Media. Now the reason for this is that I got sort of fed up with all the lies and incomplete reports coming from the mainstream media. News is about telling people in their homes who haven't got the opportunity, the capacity to go and find out for themselves what actually is happening in the world. So I came to the conclusion that the mainstream media, and my main poke is at the BBC, are basically just propaganda sites. So creating Chimes Media on a website is the first time I've ever done a website, and it's understanding the terminology, the problems to overcome, and what this means and that means, understanding the meaning of widgets and things like that. It's like an old dog learning new tricks. But I hope that others will join in. It's not meant to be a one-man band at all. It's meant to be, a shared platform for other users, so we can link up. And I'd hope to see other people who are creating their own websites with the idea of presenting their own experiences, their own news stories, will link up, and we'll have some kind of a federation of website creators that will, serve to challenge the mainstream media into telling the truth for a change, into giving accurate stories for a change. What was of concern to me was the presentation of the hurricane around Costa Rica that affected Costa Rica. They had two hurricanes in a row, and being a seafarer, I'm kind of interested in hurricane and weather things and things like that. So the BBC, I listened to on BBC Radio 4, their report from our own correspondent, I think it was called, the article was based on. And it was so incomplete. It was just presenting the United States as treating the Costa Ricans as second-class citizens and stuff like that. But I'd looked up on the internet, I'd looked at various sources to find out what actually had gone on. And I think the United States did extremely well. Their warships were out between hurricanes, getting to the islands as best they could, doing what they could. I think there were 17 people overall that were killed in that hurricane, which is bad, but it's pretty good when you consider what would have happened if they had not done anything. And in the port in Costa Rica, they had, I think it was over 9,000 containers stuffed with food and supplies in readiness for this thing. This is in between the two hurricanes, the second hurricane of that. But the BBC didn't cover any of this. They didn't cover any of this. It just wanted to present like the Trump administration, I suppose, they're having a go at, as not caring at all. When in actual fact, they did better than any other administration I've known before. I was quite impressed with it. So that was an example of how bad some of the stuff is. And then we've got things like the various ongoing sex scandals, the rape gang culture, which is coming from a certain, what should I say, cult religion that seems to think it's okay because the people they're abusing are kafirs and somehow deserve it. The media are silent on this. It's exasperating, and people need to know what is actually going on. How can you tackle things if you don't know what's going on? Well, I'm just one person. I'm just a single person who's gone and got this single website, Chimes Media. We need to join with others. We need to get the truth out there to other people. Because it ends up in tears. Lots of people get hurt if we don't tell the truth.